There is a moment most traders recognize even if they rarely talk about it. You have done the analysis. The setup is clear enough. You know what you are looking at, and yet, when it comes time to act, something in you changes. Not your thinking in a clean, rational way, but your internal state. Suddenly the same trade feels heavier. You hesitate, or you rush, or you start rereading everything you already knew 5 minutes ago. Sometimes you enter and immediately regret it. Sometimes you don't enter and feel relief mixed with doubt. And afterwards, you tell yourself it was about discipline, or confidence, or needing more experience. But that explanation misses something more important. What is actually happening in that moment is not primarily a trading problem. It is a capacity problem. There is a difference between being technically prepared and being internally able to hold uncertainty without collapsing it into identity pressure. Most traders are trained to believe that if the analysis is correct, execution should follow smoothly. But in reality, execution is the moment where uncertainty stops being abstract and becomes personal. And if the internal system has not learned how to stay stable under that shift, the mind will automatically try to protect itself by changing something. Overthinking, second-guessing, freezing, or forcing action just to escape the tension. This is why so many traders experience inconsistency even when their strategy is sound. It is not that they do not know what to do. It is that their nervous system cannot yet hold the emotional load of not knowing what will happen after they do it. And this is where a hidden assumption needs to be questioned. Most traders unconsciously treat exposure as the solution. More trades, more screen time, more experience, more intensity. The expectation is that repetition alone will build stability. But exposure without capacity does not create clarity. It amplifies whatever is already unprocessed. If the system interprets uncertainty as identity risk, then increasing exposure simply increases the number of moments where identity feels at stake. So instead of learning, the trader begins to oscillate between control and collapse. This is why you can have traders who are analytically competent but emotionally unstable under execution. And it is also why advice like be disciplined or trust your edge often fails, because discipline assumes access to a stable internal state. But what if the problem is that the state itself is what destabilizes under pressure? From this perspective, emotional volatility is not a sign that you need to suppress something. It is often a sign that the system is exceeding its current capacity to integrate uncertainty. In other words, the issue is not that you are reacting too much. It is that the internal structure has not yet learned how to stay intact while reacting. This changes what progress actually means. Progress is not increasing conviction. It is not forcing better execution. It is not eliminating doubt. Progress is increasing your ability to remain structurally stable while doubt is present, while outcome is unknown, and while action has already been taken. This is the part most traders skip. They try to earn external consistency before internal stability is developed. But in reality, stability is what allows consistency to become sustainable rather than compulsive. So the real developmental shift is this. You are not trying to become someone who feels no uncertainty before trading. You are learning to become someone who does not need to resolve uncertainty in order to act. Once that is understood, the goal of trading changes. It stops being about proving something in the moment and becomes about building the capacity to stay present in the moment without turning it into a statement about who you are. And from there, everything becomes simpler, not because the emotions disappear, but because they no longer decide what you are allowed to do.